Hi, John Kaplan here to share a few personal recollections about Micky Hades, who had a huge impact on the lives of so many magicians in Canada and worldwide. I was no different. I was hugely impacted by Micky. He was the first magician I ever saw. 9 years old at a company Christmas party where my dad worked, and this magician got up on stage, showed his two empty hands. Suddenly there was a puff of smoke, a flash of fire, a bang, and he was holding a piece of rope where previously his hands had been empty. This guy was magic. The next thing that I remember happening in his show was he was looking for a volunteer. And he came down off the stage, walked right towards me, stopped right in front of me, made eye contact, bent down and said, "I would like you to come up and help." And he pointed to my friend sitting right beside me. Oh well, that was Micky. Little was I to know then what a huge impact on my life that man would have. I next saw Micky and actually got introduced to him at the age of 12 when a local magician, Bill Sprague, took me to a Micky Hades Magic Fun and Film Festival. This turned out to be a legendary weekend of magic that happened every year. In fact, I was fortunate enough to be responsible for organizing a number of those on the May-long weekend when I was working for Micky, because that was the next thing that happened. Is graduated from high school and went to work in Micky's shop, not as an employee but as an apprentice. I had heard that Dale Harney had been Micky's apprentice, and we all knew Dale Harney was very successful in magic, and I wanted to be successful too, and I figured Micky was the path to success. So I went to work, stayed with him until 1980, and then began developing and touring my own show. A show that Micky had his fingerprints all over, I should add. He built me many props over the years. A really great craftsman with his illusion building. And the things that I learned from Micky, work ethic. He was such an inspiration to myself and others, as I've mentioned. He was always a great mentor, a counselor when I needed it, and a lifelong friend. Micky will have left this huge legacy, will not be forgotten, and I can only say that it was, he gave me my life, my whole career, I owe to him. So, sorry to see him pass. Glad that he had such a long run. He will not be forgotten. Rest in peace, Micky.
Hi, I'm Brent Smith. I've been asked to talk about Micky Hades and what Micky meant to me. Micky meant everything to me about magic. I always give him my full attention and respect, and I will continue to talk highly of him to any magician or the magic community. I grew up going to see Micky out by the Calgary International Old Airport where Micky Hades International was, and it was a farmhouse and it was full of everything magic. Not only that, it was a honey hole and a secret haven for magicians to hang out in. And the first time I went, I must have been 10 years old, and there was John Kaplan and Murray Hatfield and Scott Imler, Paul Alberstadt, Stephen Forrester, Lothar Melmberg. They were all there, and I had to be part of that. My mouth was shut and my ears were always open talking to Micky, but I always knew at any time I could ask a question and not just get an answer, but I would get a meaningful exchange. His knowledge, his vast knowledge was like a huge secret safe full of secrets and stories and ideas. And to get into that safe, you had to know the combination for that safe that particular day. The combination would change every day, and that was Micky testing you to see if you knew what you were talking about. Sometimes Micky would ask me questions, but I knew it wasn't because he didn't know the answer. It was because he was testing me to see if I knew what I was talking about. And once I knew Micky more and more questions would come, and especially after I bought his large magic poster collection. I would go visit him when I would go visit him in his office or in his workshop where the sawdust was. I knew that he would have a fascinating story for me, or an idea, or tell me something, the way something worked. I would leave that place with a smile on my face, and it would tickle me for days, you know. I would see Micky frequently to chat or to have coffee, and I always considered going over to Micky's like going to see Charlie in the Chocolate Factory and being able to peek behind the velvet curtain to see the wizard. But not only could I peek behind the curtain, but I could always talk to him and draw some of that vast knowledge out of his brain with any question that I had in magic whatsoever. The loss of this extraordinary man will be deeply felt, and I will forever cherish the magical moments that we shared together. I will forever miss this man and the time that we spent together.
I was about 15 years old, and I went to Micky Hades International. I had $70 burning a hole in my pocket, and there was a wrist chopper that I had been coveting for months. I said to Micky, I'd like that, please. And he looked at me and said, no. He said, it's easy to do, and it'll get a great reaction in your show, but you won't learn anything. It won't make you a better magician. Instead, I would recommend one of these, and this thing, and that, and maybe, this book. And altogether, they'll cost you less than $55, and you'll learn a lot. It tells you a lot about the kind of guy that Micky was, the kind of teacher, the kind of mentor. I learned so much from Micky over the years. I met him when I was just 10. He was the second magician I ever saw. The first was about a week or 10 days earlier, a very young John Kaplan. Between the two of them, seeing their two shows back to back like that, it ignited the spark that grew to be my career, my life. There are only a handful of people whose impact on my life has been evident every day of my life. Thank you, Micky.